62, not feeling blue.
Not in the slightest.
How are you today?
Well, actually a little blue with your ailments.
I know. We were talking before. The whole right side of my body, I like hurt my knee this morning at pickleball. My shoulder's kind of weird.
Yeah.
My tongue is feeling kind of funky.
It's not good.
I don't know what's going on.
That could be a stroke. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That whole
Okay.
right side of you.
I'm glad you're here so that if, and you can call your husband.
We're gonna go live. Yeah. Well,
please don't stop recording.
Okay.
If I start stroking out, make sure to keep it rolling.
You know what? This is who we are.
Great content.
Keeping it
That'll be what makes us go viral.
Yeah.
My stroke on the air.
That's it. Listen, we were wondering. Well, I started to tell you and then you cut me off because you wanted me to talk about my butt pellets online. So I got a new what?
I'm so sorry.
Just happened?
I just had my first sip of my coffee and that is so bad.
What is it?
What did they do? I'm not going to shout out where that's from. It's supposed to be a dirty chai and that is horrible. Wow, I might try to power through it.
What do you think it is? What did they do wrong?
It's like water, super watery.
They're like, how about just dirty water?
Yeah.
Does he want that?
Not great. Holy cow. Sorry for interrupting your butt pellets.
No worries. It's not that exciting. I am seeing a new doctor. She's lovely.
Okay.
And this is the first time I got pellets with her.
She's not trying to convince you to do Ozempic.
She's not trying. In fact, she was a little bit like, not sure that's even a good option for you with some of my like lab work. I guess I have really low cholesterol, which I thought was a good thing. But
is it not?
She was like, we might just have to keep an eye on that. Like, I guess too low is also not good. Listen,
you want medium cholesterol is what you want.
Win. It doesn't matter, But
anyways, I think high cholesterol is what's very bad, right? Or what's bad?
Yeah, but like Chad is high cholesterol, and look at him.
It's Chad.
He's fine.
That's ridiculous.
All that to say, for some reason, I like bruised really badly. I love that you're trying again. You like forgot.
The second sip was a little bit less bad, but still not great.
Well, if your tongue is numb,
that's true.
Anyways, it's very bruised, and for some reason, that is like lingering, and that's never happened before.
Oh, really?
So I just don't know. I don't know where to go from here. But
how long ago was it?
Last Tuesday.
Oh, almost a week. And it's still black and blue. Man.
Yeah, it's not cute.
Good thing you're not doing any nude modeling coming up here.
Thank goodness I postponed that.
That's in June, right?
It's coming up in July. Eyes and ears out for that release.
You gotta time it like a month or two after your pellets.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Give that some time.
Your Victoria's Secrets shoot.
I'm like bummed because I was really thinking this is going to be a great switch, and I'm hoping this was just a fluky thing. But
you think it's the doctor's fault?
Well, so what's weird is like I can see the incision for the pellets.
I don't like that word.
I know, it's gross. And then next to it is the bruise. And I'm like, is that from my injection for the numbing? Because she did say, she's like, I'm really sorry. She's like, for some reason, the medicine I used to numb you just stings for like 30 seconds. I've tried to figure out with my distributors like a better option, and I just can't. So part of me is like, was it the shot that bruised me? Which is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to see her again in June. And so that's not too far. I'll get an update.
Have you heard anything recently about peptides?
Peptides.
Does that ring a bell?
No.
Okay. I don't really have anything to share. Armchair Expert, they talk a lot about peptides. It's like a new thing. I think in LA that people are like injecting peptides. Could be totally wrong, but it has all these benefits. It's similar to like an Ozempic where it's like this next phase of like beauty hacking I just
feel like I can't handle another.
No, me neither. I'm good.
I don't need another thing that I should be doing that I'm not. I
agree. It's that LA culture, man.
It's tough.
It is tough.
It's
gotta keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Did you close in your duplex?
I did. You guys, we did it. And I did have the financial meeting with Chad. Remember how last time I was like, I've got a PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, you sent me like a picture or something.
I did.
A lot of slides.
Going down. Yeah. And I think we're going to move forward with it. I actually I have learned in 16 years of marriage, he's actually a very smart guy.
Savvy.
He's savvy.
Yeah.
And he doesn't just come up with things on the fly.
Willy-nilly.
No. If he presents something, he has put thought into it, hence the 20-slide presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were some parts of me that was like hesitant, and I was a little bit nervous of what this was going to look like, but I'm just going to trust that he knows what he's doing.
So you're dumping all of it in Bitcoin.
That's it. Congratulations, Bitcoin. You get all of our money.
I think you can buy one coin.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
know how that works. That could be wrong.
can't
I just
even
know
tell
that
you.
the coins are very.
We're
They're
just
like
gonna buy gold. We're gonna
nice.
go to Costco
Love that.
and we're gonna just get all the gold. No,
Okay.
that's not it. But
Can you buy gold at Costco?
yes, Jessica did, and
Really?
it went up in value.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Okay. I think you should buy a bunch of Rolexes
Okay.
and just have those accumulate and appreciate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Because I'm
Fine.
open to ideas.
I mean, people do that. People like who have a lot of money will buy watches. They'll buy artwork. They'll buy like these.
I was thinking about Beanie Babies.
I wouldn't do that.
No? Oh, okay.
Like high value things people will buy because they're known to appreciate. But
Yeah.
I think the hope is that because like everything appreciates over time with, or not everything, but with like inflation, everything's value goes up for the most part. But it's like the hope is these investments like exceed the rate of inflation. I don't know what I'm talking about, but that sounded smart, right?
Sounded so smart. I was like, what rate of inflation? Oh my gosh. Who is this guy?
Actually, I've been listening to like some Dave Ramsey stuff about investing because I think I might have already talked about this on here, but I'm 30 years old. For the last not for the last 30 years, but for my working adult life, the investing that I have knowledge around is real estate investing. Like I know a lot about real estate investing and cash flow and how to evaluate properties and all that.
Yeah.
What I don't know anything about is like any other type of investing, like mutual funds or stocks or all these other things you can invest in. And Eric in our office, he did a little workshop recently, and then he agreed to meet one-on-one with me. And he helped me set up a Fidelity account and kind of gave me some of the lowdown on how it works. And I'm like trying to educate myself on that so that can like diversify my investing a little bit more.
That's so smart. Yeah. I love that. I'm excited. Tomorrow we have somebody coming in to talk about using your IRAs and your 401ks to invest. But that whole world is so, like you're saying, it's so like, I have no concept of it. So, interesting. I'm excited to hear how that goes.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah. What did you want to share what you invested in?
I did some mutual funds.
Beanie Babies.
Not watches, gold.
Artwork. It's gold, guys. Okay.
No, actually I did have a little bit of like probably 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. No, maybe 5 years ago. I was doing a Central America trip and I met a guy at one of the like hostels I was staying at.
Yeah.
And he convinced me to invest in Bitcoin. Okay. And what he said is invest an amount of money that you'd be okay losing. And I was like, okay. So I picked an amount of money, put it in Bitcoin, and it immediately lost like 40%. So let's say I put in 1,000, it immediately went down to $600.
Okay.
And I was like, well, that was freaking great.
You're
and then I'm like, cool. I'm just gonna hold on to it. And then eventually it came back up, and then I ended up going even up higher.
Oh, nice. So
I ended up selling it last year, and I made like 30% on what I initially invested. So if I did 1,000, I was able to take out 1,300. So at the end of the day, it worked out. But
will you do it again?
No, I'm not. Done. Yeah, I'm going on what I've learned from Eric and from Dave Ramsey is just like put most of your money in like the mutual fund, because over the last 100 years, the mutual fund always goes up in the long run. Always, like there'll be 2 or 3 year dips or recessions, but in the long run, it always goes up. So if you have money, you put it there. On average, I think what Dave Ramsey was saying is on average, these funds go up like 12% a year.
Okay.
And inflation is like 4% a year.
Oh.
So 12% minus 4% is 8%. So that's the actual like gain you're getting.
Okay.
So let's say you're ready to retire and you have $1 million in your bank account.
Yep.
And you put that in mutual funds. On average, it should get about 8% annual growth, which would be $80,000 a year.
Okay.
So what people need to kind of figure out is like, what do you need to live off annually? So maybe it's
when you retire.
Yeah. So if that number's maybe it's 80,000, maybe it's more than that.
1 million for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's when you start thinking about it that way, it's kind of like $1 million is a big number, and it's like that only gives you 80,000 a year to live on, which hopefully you have like Social Security and other things coming in at that point as well. But I'm kind of actually starting to understand how this works.
I love that. I lost my train of thought. Shoot. I love it. I am very intrigued by this. And I had a conversation with friends about what would a monthly income look like that you were comfortable with.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. I might have said this already. It's all over the board with our friend group.
Yeah.
And I was talking. So the reason I got inspired by it is because Jessica had a conversation with some other moms, and they're all like business women, investors, and they were talking about, and their numbers were like astronomical.
Really?
Like it was like, I don't know, crazy amount. But it's an interesting concept to start thinking about even now. Like if I could retire right now, what would that number look like to make my life either sustainable or sustainable and enjoyable? You know,
totally.
So anyways, it's an interesting thing.
Yeah. Money's crazy.
Okay. So when you started to say that this guy in South America convinced you, it triggered, I've been going through a thing recently where I don't feel swindled by any means, but I do feel like this lady has got her hooks in me, and she is. Have you ever heard of Mary Kay?
Yeah.
It's a cosmetic line. Okay.
Huh? The Amway for makeup.
Correct. So a lady at church, I was actually with your mom, and she was kind of talking to us about her products, and she got me to book an appointment.
Okay.
And I want to recruit her to work here because she is so good at persistence and follow-up.
Nice.
Like it's unbelievable. To the point where I was like, oh yeah, I'll book an appointment, and then I'm just going to be like, oh, you know what? It's actually not going to work for me. Sorry. No, ma'am. Doesn't let that slide. She's like, no worries. What does work? Tuesday or Thursday? 1 or 2? You know, it's like, I'm like, ugh. She's been so consistent. So I finally went to her last week, and it was amazing. It's like you go into her basement, and it's like you traveled back in time.
Really?
And there is all this paraphernalia. There's like for one, there was like these folding chairs all set up around a TV, but it was a box TV. It wasn't flat, and it had like a VCR thing in it. And I was like, this is amazing. Like this is.
She just created like a showroom in her basement.
I guess so.
But it feels like you're in the 70s.
This is where she does her presentations.
Okay.
And
is that old school aesthetic intentional, or is it just needs to be updated?
I think she did something 30 years ago and it hasn't changed.
Okay.
She's just sticking with it.
If it ain't broke, why fix it?
Right.
Yeah.
She has been doing this for a long time. And she told me before I came to come with makeup on. Because I was like, I'm going to work afterwards. Is it like, am I okay to come? She's like, oh yeah, come with makeup on.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't tell her I was going to work, but she did tell me to come with your face on is how she said it. So I go there, and then she goes, okay, so we're going to take the right half of your face and we're going to wipe that all off.
Wow.
I was like, I'm sorry, what? I'm like, okay. So I go through, and there's like all these different products. There's like a soap, and then a toner, and then a moisturizer, and a sunscreen, and blah, blah, blah. So my one right side is totally bare.
Okay.
And then my left side is done up.
Yeah.
The rest. So I'm like a freaking joker over here. And so luckily she did have some foundation, so I could kind of put a little bit of a base back on. And then I did buy some products.
Wait, okay. So she just wipes off, and then did you
She's going through all of the skincare stuff. So she
gotcha.
cleans it, and then she's like, here's our cleanser, here's our tone, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, how's your skin feel? I'm like, I mean, it's been 2 seconds. It feels okay.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I'm more anxious about what's going to happen here. Like I was like, I don't know how I feel except for nervous.
Yeah.
And then I did buy some stuff. And
you're in her basement. Like, what happens if you don't buy something?
Exactly. And
I'm sure that door locks.
The way she deals with it, she's like, well, and remember, I gave you a $20 off, but actually what they're offering you is way better because then you get this and you get buy one, get one, and you get these at 50% off. It was like, she's such a sales lady. It really got me.
You're losing money if you don't do it.
It's almost like
you're leaving money on the table.
Yeah, 100%. So anyways, I'm going to keep updating you on this because it's going to be a journey.
Please don't try to sell me Mary Kay.
Got another appointment on Friday and I'd like you to join me.
Oh my God. You've watched Schitt's Creek, right?
Yeah.
There's the episode where it's a similar thing. I don't remember what it's called. It's like Allez-vous or something.
Okay.
And it's like it's like a multi-level marketing scheme with some makeup product.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's how I feel. And, yeah, if I ever start to try to sell this stuff, you better bring me back to this moment.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, I am going back on Friday I first did skincare. Now it's makeup.
Okay. Nice.
So
it's going to be a weekly thing now.
My journey to be continued.
Was this weekend? Should we go into the weekends? Okay, perfect.
Start of my weekend.
Love it. Yep. Finish your Friday.
Okay.
Please.
So then that was the start. It was pretty exciting. And then I came here for a little bit. I do have a couple hot takes. I'm going to save that for the end of our episode. But part of the hot take was helping one of our agents deal with a very challenging situation with real estate. So That happened. And then in the evening, Friday was pretty nice. So we ended up meeting up with friends. We went to Highlands Golf Course, which I had actually been purposely not, what do you say when you're like trying not to go boycotting?
Yeah.
I was trying to boycott it because of our incident with trivia and getting kicked out with our kids. But they convinced me. It was a nice afternoon. We were going to be outside, and we weren't going to be there for very long because we got there like 5:45 and closed at 6:30.
Oh, wow.
So we just met up there with the usual group, Kelly and Chris and Shannon and Peter. Actually, not Peter. Peter was out of town. No, Peter. Couldn't do it. But we had like a quick beverage there, and it was kind of funny. Like one of the kids gets yelled at by is one of Kelly's kiddos gets yelled at because she picked a flower out of a planter. And a lady, just an innocent bystander, decides she's going to reprimand this child that she's never met. Not a worker, just another golfer consumer. And that was the thing. We were like, she picked a flower out of a planter. Like she's not damaging the property. She's not like, it was so innocent. But we did have some giggles because then Kelly went over and she like picked another flower and is like, oh, this smells so nice. I love this flower. And like just made it like so obvious that she was doing that. Anyways, so that's the type of friends I hang out with.
Love it.
You know,
troublemakers.
Putting people in their place. But no, afterwards we went to Tacoma Pie, which is on 6th Ave. Have you ever heard of that?
Never heard of it.
Okay. I had seen it. I'd never been.
The pies?
It's pizza.
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love pizza.
So it was, and it's a mix. You could do like a deep dish, Detroit style, or you could do like a thin kind of cracker crust thing.
Yum.
And they have some pastas and other things. So it was great. They have a little small patio area with a bocce ball strip.
Cool.
And they had like a ping pong table. And so we got there and Chad, I think was one of the first ones in from our group. And he's like, we're bringing in about 6 kids, 3 families. Like, where do you want us? And she's like, oh, we've got this great patio area. And they were so like friendly and welcoming. So, I will say the service was awesome. The food was pretty good.
Okay.
Good, not great. You know?
Yeah. That's a good average though between the service and the food.
I will definitely go back there again, especially for that little friendly environment in the back.
Cool.
So that was my Friday.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's
How
awesome.
about you?
Okay. Friday, I went on a long run. So basically I had a goal for this weekend to complete an Olympic distance triathlon over the course of the weekend. So
Olympic distance. What does that mean?
So this is one of the distances they do at the Olympics. Yeah. So it's basically, I think it's a 10K run. So 6.2 miles or no, swim first, 1,500 yard swim, which is just under a mile. And then a 25-mile bike ride, and then a 10K run.
Okay.
So that was basically like over the course of the weekend, I want to do those distances.
Gotcha.
So I did a 7-mile run on Friday. And then I went home. We kind of had a chill night. We had a busy day Saturday. So Friday was kind of like, let's just be chill. Okay. We sat in the sauna, cold plunge.
Nice.
We went to Dozone. Have you been to Dozone?
No, you guys have told me about it.
Dumplings.
I want to.
Incredible. You like dumplings, right?
I do.
Oh my gosh. So good. I could eat dumplings every day. And then we got some crumble cookie.
Yum.
Love crumble.
I do too.
They're doing like their cheesecake things right now. What? There's like a raspberry cheesecake that we got.
Okay.
And like a carrot cake and then a like vanilla Oreo cookie.
Yum.
All incredible.
Okay.
Very, very good.
Sounds great.
And then we went home and we sometimes if we're having a chill night, we'll turn our couch into a bed. We call it couch bed.
Yeah.
And it's just a relaxing way to end the day.
Yeah.
So I think we started our show at 8:30.
Yeah.
I think I was asleep by 9.
Yeah.
On Friday.
I got in bed last night and the sun was out.
Oh, wow.
I could like hear birds.
That's great.
So early. What show were you watching?
Hey, you know what? I'm totally spacing on that. Oh, it's Prime Target. Have you heard of that?
Target.
It's a show we started probably 3 or 4 months ago and we kind of forgot about it.
Okay.
We totally forgot about it.
Is it an Apple?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
It's about
good,
the
not
guy
great.
He's like really smart with math.
Really smart mathematician.
Yeah.
He's the guy. He was in one of the seasons of White Lotus, season 2.
Yes.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
Okay.
Maybe it was a little over my head, the scientific-y math stuff.
Sure.
But it was an entertaining watch.
Okay.
So I think we'd watched I think there were like 8 episodes and we had watched 7 episodes.
Yeah.
And we've debated for like 30 minutes. Like, have we finished the show? I'm like, I feel like we finished the show. Like, I feel like why would we have not finished it?
So
and then
funny.
we went to Apple TV. We're like, oh, we haven't finished it. We finished it.
That's great.
I fell asleep. So I was like, I told Brian, I'm like, if I fall asleep, please just finish it. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not on.
Right.
I'm not at the edge of my seat here.
Yeah.
So that was Friday.
Nice.
And asleep by 9.
I love it.
How was your Saturday?
Saturday
I will say too, this is growing on me a little bit. I don't know why, but the first sip was really bad.
The first sip was shocking.
It was not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday.
Okay.
Please.
Saturday. All right. Saturday, back to volleyball. And let me tell you, Piper James has been practicing her heart out. She was so determined this week to do better, and she did great. We didn't win anything, but her, and you could tell a couple of the other girls, like we've all been putting in the work at home. So we did a lot better. All of her serves, but maybe one got over the net, which last time we didn't get any over the net.
Okay. She's got progress.
She's got a whole new move now. So she does this thing where she like goes 1, 2, hit 3, but she like has to rock 2 times before. And like Chad and I are like giggling on the sidelines because that's the only way she'll serve.
That's her ritual.
It's her thing.
It's great. A lot of professional athletes have a ritual.
Well, there's another girl who would do, because that Pipes is doing underhand. Another girl, she would hit the ball 1, 2, and then she'd throw it up and go overhand.
Nice.
And it was like, I was cracking up that they both had these like, literally, they had to do these 2 moves and then they go.
Yeah. Pickleball, there's some people who have some intense serves.
Oh,
they have like a whole like positioning of their body thing, and they'll like, it's intense. A lot of people, they have to like touch the back of the court before they'll serve too. So everyone has their thing.
Listen, to each their own,
yeah,
right?
Superstition.
Right? Yeah. So that was really fun. And then after that, we went up to U Village.
Nice.
So we are on the hunt for a leather couch.
Okay.
It has to recline.
Okay.
And I felt like a crazy person because I had seen one online. And what was weird was Pottery Barn.
Hold on, it has to recline? What do you mean by
leather couch that reclines?
Like the thing comes off? Oh, wow.
Back.
Okay, nice.
Because I don't know if you've ever noticed at my house, the distance between the TV and the couch is quite close.
Okay.
So in order to really be comfortable watching, you kind of need this like angle.
Okay.
This right here. So all that to say, I felt like a crazy person because I had seen a couch advertised online at West Elm and at Pottery Barn.
Okay.
And I went to West Elm and they were pulling up their leather. They didn't have any in their showroom, but they were pulling up online. This is what we have. And I was like, that is not it. I went to Instagram to find the one that I'd sent to Chad, and it was like a chair. It wasn't even the leather couch, even though underneath I'd said, this is my dream couch, and it even reclines. Yeah. So it's like, it was as if the post had changed. And I was like, oh, wait, what? I was like, seriously, like in a Twilight Zone. I was like, I know that there was a couch that I saw here. I went to Pottery Barn and I wasn't really seeing anything on the floor, and I didn't get a great like response from any of the workers there. We go to Restoration Hardware. Have you ever bought anything from there?
I've never purchased anything, but I've been in my fair share of Restoration Hardwares. Actually, funny quick aside on that. Please. When we were in Phoenix just now, we were like driving around Scottsdale, and there's this really nice like shopping area in North Scottsdale, and we went into the Restoration Hardware, and this lady approached us, and for some reason, we just decided to turn it into like a role play thing. Like we were actually looking, and we ended up
so much.
We were like, because we're kind of like considering eventually buying a vacation home in Arizona.
Absolutely.
Like it was on our radar.
Yes.
Not anytime soon, but we were like talking like might be soon. Yeah. And I don't know why. No idea why. Usually I just am like,
because it's fun.
Closed off, and I don't entertain the salespeople all that much. But we were with her for probably 15-20 minutes. She was showing us all these different areas, and it's great. I love Restoration Hardware.
It's so nice.
Incredible.
And so they have like a whole spiel where if you become a member, you get 25% off.
Wow.
That's a big deal.
Is there like an annual membership fee?
I think it's a one-time fee, and it's only $200 to become a member.
Nice.
With your membership, you get interior design service.
Okay. Wow.
She was like, now hear us now. Like we are hoping clients that utilize that service are planning to purchase something from the R&H collection.
Okay.
Not just steal our design ideas.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we'll see about that. They are very proud of their products.
Nice. Yeah.
It's not cheap.
Yeah.
But they do have like a whole white glove service, and I am leaning towards one of their couches.
Is it a cloud couch?
It's not a cloud couch.
Yeah, because the clouds don't recline.
Yeah, it would be another leather option. And the challenge is it's custom because of the type of leather we'd choose. And with that, it's not returnable. And they don't have it. So I can't I can't test it.
Hate that.
They had a leather couch that we sat on. It was very comfy. Didn't love the style, but I'm like, I'm so nervous to spend so much money on something I haven't actually tried yet.
Yeah.
Like that seems silly. So yeah, so that's to be continued.
TBC.
I almost invited you and Brian out because I was like, you guys should come do some wedding registry shopping.
Ooh.
Like start signing up for what you want to register
Yeah.
for. U Village would be a great place. Crate and
Village is
Barrel.
We decided to do a honeymoon fund because we don't need anything.
Smart.
Yeah, we're kind of good on stuff. Like,
Okay.
we would like a new couch eventually. We're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Honeymoon.
Okay. I love it. That's great. So anyways, the rest of that day we did some stuff around U Village. We went to Mr. West for lunch. Have you
Nice.
been there?
Love that spot. Yeah.
Love it.
That was one of my go-to spots.
Yeah.
Like when I was living kind of near there.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And then we went home.
Any other stores at Uville?
Well, at U Village we did a bunch of them. We did like room and board, Crate and Barrel. So kind of going to
Go to CB2.
Yes. No leather couches there.
Okay.
So that was like my main focus. The girls kind of went to different stores and they were doing like, Sephora and whatever other clothing stores that were around there. And then we left U Village and went to West Elm, which was like downtown Seattle. And that's when I had my little brain thing of like, what? So then this is what's weird. Then I got home and I was like, I know that I saw those pictures and I could have sworn I sent them to Chad. So I found screenshots and there is one screenshot for Pottery Barn and then the next one is West Elm. I didn't know they were connected. Apparently they are. And the couch is no longer available. It's like discontinued.
So you weren't going crazy?
I wasn't crazy.
Nice.
It was a real thing, but it's just discontinued due to low inventory or something. So anyways, we get home that afternoon, just kind of hang out for a bit. And then we decide we're going to take everybody to Harbor Greens, which we did last weekend. We walked there and we told the girls, this is how I asked them. I was like, do you guys feel like some bubble tea? They're like, yes.
They have bubble tea at Harbor Greens?
No, but there is a pho restaurant on the corner and they have bubble tea.
Nice.
So I was like, great, let's go get some. We're going to walk to get it. So it was like, but they did great. And it was actually really nice. I'm realizing like getting my kids, I'm not realizing this for the first time, but I'm trying to be intentional about getting them outside as much as possible because it just makes such a difference in their mindset. It's weird.
Yeah. Even if you have to manipulate them to
100%. I'll do whatever it takes. Bribery is not beyond me. So it was fun. We took Stella with us. So we walked over there. It's about a 2-mile there and back walk. So we did.
You're just trying to get your steps in for our step challenge.
100%. Absolutely. So we did that. And then that night, I think we just hung out and played some games and watched a show. Allie's really trying to get us into Percy Jackson.
Okay.
Which is a book she's been reading, and it's a series on Disney.
Nice.
And it's like pulling teeth to get the family to enjoy it with.
Is it?
She's like so desperate for us to watch it and get into it, and we're all like,
something happens and she's like looking around.
Yeah, she literally the first night, because we watched it 2 nights in a row. First night, she's very disappointed because Chad and Pipes were on their devices during it. She was like, clearly, you don't care.
That's not okay.
It's not okay. So, anyways, that was my Saturday.
Lovely Saturday.
Yeah, you had a busy Saturday. It sounds like
it was good. Yeah, so I did a swim in the morning with my longest swim yet, 1,500 yards, which is 60 laps in the pool.
Wow.
Which I don't know if I told you, but I have some waterproof headphones that are amazing, and that's a game changer.
Because I was like, what are you doing the whole time?
Yeah, I don't like being just alone with my thoughts for that long.
Do you
actually no? I do like being alone with my thoughts, but
such a good practice.
But it's not. I don't like it when I'm swimming because when I'm alone with my thoughts, I have things that come to my head that I need to write down, and I can't write things down when I'm swimming. Yeah. So music is great. So did that.
But you don't have music.
I do have music.
You do.
I got waterproof headphones that work very well.
Okay. I didn't realize that. When you said waterproof, I was thinking like earplugs.
No.
That just keeps the water out of your ears.
Yeah. So I've probably purchased like 5 pairs of waterproof headphones, and none of them have really worked.
Okay.
Mostly because because I'm the pool is 25 yards, and I don't have my phone in my hand.
Yeah.
So it usually will disconnect as I'm swimming laps. Makes sense. These are longer distance, and they have like an MP3 feature that allows the music to keep going.
Okay.
So
yes, we talked about that.
Game changer.
Nice. Okay.
Did that, and then got a haircut.
Okay.
And then went to our friend Gina's birthday party, which was in Woodinville at the wineries.
Fun.
So we started at Chateau Saint Michel, which you've been to. Yeah.
Love it.
Great winery. And then we went to, Sparkman Cellars.
Oh, haven't been there.
Which is kind of across the street in this big little or this big area.
Big little.
I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, we had a private room with that one, which was cool.
Ooh, that's fun.
And then third one was FST, I think, which is by the like warehouse wineries.
Oh, okay.
So cool. It was a good group. We had probably 15 of us there, and wine hopping and water hopping.
Did you do flights at each one, or what did you do?
Yes, we did. We did tastings at each one, and I was driving, so I did the full tasting at the first one, and then the next two I would like take a little sip, and then I'd pour the rest into Brian's glass. So he was getting all my leftovers, which worked out great.
Yeah. That will sneak up on you.
100%. Yeah. And I was like, I'm trying to, being a responsible human here. And we got dinner afterwards. So I was like, let's taste it out.
Where'd you guys go for food?
What is it called?
In Woodinville?
In Woodinville. I'm totally spacing on what it's called. I think it's like Hollywood Tavern or something. Good. Keep saying little. Good restaurant.
Good little.
It was great. Something kind of weird happened at the wine tasting at the end.
Here we go.
And I don't know how much detail to go into.
All of it, obviously.
All the detail. Okay. I'm not. If anybody, I don't know. No one's gonna be listening to this. So, okay. So towards the end, it was at the third winery.
Yeah.
People have been drinking, so I'm giving everybody the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Right. This girl that I hadn't really talked to previously in the night because we hadn't been sitting next to each other. She came over, and she comes up to me and she's like, "You look so familiar to me."
Classic.
And
classic pickup line.
I was like, it was definitely not a pickup line. Not a pickup line. Okay. She's like, "You look so familiar." I was like, "Oh, really? Like maybe we have mutual friends or something." And I was like, "What's your name?"
But also, you're here for the same birthday party.
Yes. So exactly. But I was like, maybe we know we have similar. I don't know.
Maybe we have similar friends, as in Gina, whose party we're here for.
That's exactly correct. But I was like, I was like, "What's your name?" And she told me your name.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna look you up on Instagram and see if we have any other mutual connections.
Okay.
Does that seem weird to you?
No.
Okay. Thank you. She was so weirded out by that. She's like, she gave me like a face. She's like, "Why'd you do that?" And I was like, "Do what?" I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Why are you looking me up on Instagram?" And I was like, "Oh, I just was like curious if we had any like, maybe that would help us."
So funny.
Help us find out how we know each other.
This is not where I thought this was gonna go.
Not as So and I kind of like, she's like, "Okay, whatever." And then probably 10 minutes later, she's like, "I'm still thinking about how you looked me up earlier. That was so weird."
No.
She would not let this go. And I was like, "I'm sorry. Like I was just curious if we knew each other from somewhere."
Yeah.
And then I had to leave the situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I walked away.
Absolutely.
I went to the bathroom. I'm like, I don't know what's happening right now.
Yeah.
But we're not in the same wavelength right now. And I need to step away from the situation.
And we never figured out why she thought you looked familiar.
No idea. I think I had 3 mutual things on Instagram, but I'm like,
couldn't care
not getting the follow.
That.
And then something else happened. So her boyfriend, oh my gosh. So she had a glass of wine that her boyfriend had handed her. Okay. And Brian was sitting next. I was sitting here, then Brian, then the girl, then the boyfriend. Okay. And she hands the glass to Brian. She's like, "Do you want to try this one?" Because he hadn't tried that one. Yeah. And he's like, "Sure." So he like grabs it and takes a sip, and then he hands it back to the girl. The boyfriend chimes in, and he's like, "Hey man, no disrespect, but when I hand my girl a drink, that drink is for her." And we're all just like,
real people. Do you know what? They found each other.
And that's what Brian and I were saying afterwards. We're like, and he kind of, and then another girl at our table.
What does Brian say to that?
He's like, he kind of didn't really say anything. But another girl immediately chimed in. She's like, if she wants to share her drink, she can share her drink. Like, that's not. And so she like stood up for the whole situation.
Yeah.
And then the guy like doubled down and he like said it again and like was adamant about this. And we just like kind of moved on. And thankfully that was like towards the end of the night. And
this is so interesting to me. I'm
so bizarre.
So captivated by this.
Yeah. And so Brian and I, we like got out of that situation. Yeah. And then that was the last winery. So we were at dinner and both of us were just like shook. Like, what just happened? Like that was
who are
like
these people?
Such a great night or great like birthday thing. And then at the very end, there's just like these bizarre interactions. And it's like probably alcohol induced, but still just like super weird. So that was our wine tasting experience.
Wild. I thought she was going to be like, "You look so familiar." And that's like a way to start like hitting on you.
No.
Weird.
Why
did you look me up?
It was so
because
weird.
you said I looked familiar.
Yeah,
so
I was
I'm
like,
trying to
that's
find
literally
the connection because I'm logical. Weird. Still
I was like
thinking about it,
questioning myself. Like, is that weird? I don't like. Maybe if
it's not weird.
Yeah,
she's weird. And then to bring it up again,
Yeah.
to be like, I'm still thinking about that.
yeah, and then she's just like, whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Whatever.
Okay, so then we got dinner.
Man, there's more.
I wrote in my notes, "girl at end," because that was just so funny. Yeah, we got dinner. We went home. We went to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, great
Oh
night.
my gosh.
That was Saturday.
Okay, Saturday. Whew, what a trip. Did you guys follow up with a birthday girl or were you like, hey, what's up with your friend?
No,
I would have been like,
I don't know. I don't think they're close.
Okay.
The way I think I don't know. I'm not gonna.
yeah, it's
Go
fine.
further
We're
into
not
this.
we're not that worried. Okay, Sunday for me. I went to brunch with a friend at Copper and Salt.
Nice.
And it was really nice. She's a friend, actually helped her sell her house this year. Her daughter is on the cheer squad. And so we've just had a few different things in life that we've interacted, but it's been like a while since we've talked. So we just caught up for a couple hours and it was great. She's awesome. And then I went home. Chad was golfing most of the day yesterday. I went home and I did a couple errands like Trader Joe's and things like that. I wanted to redo my bathroom setup because I've been struggling with like the layout in there and like the piece of furniture I bought. I feel like it doesn't have good storage.
Okay.
So it's like I need like a additional storage unit next to between the tub and my vanity essentially. So I'd gone to Home Goods, I'd gotten some baskets to like help organize things. And so I started working on it and Allie comes in and she's like, this is what I do. Do you want me to come and help you? And I was like, absolutely. So she came in and she organized the crap out of all of my stuff. It was so like, it brought me so much joy. It's unbelievable. And what's funny is I realized I actually didn't need that storage thing. I had so much space in my vanity. I just hadn't gone through and organized and thrown things out and done all that. So
you need a little purge along with it.
100%. It felt so nice. Today I was getting ready and I was like, oh my gosh, everything is organized and where I can see it. And it's like
the best.
all accessible. So that was, but it did take.
This is what I do.
This is what I do. Step away. No, it was actually so cute. She was like, and what's funny is she's like, I could do this if you want to focus on your closet. And I was like, my closet? I was like, I wasn't even worried about my closet, but okay. I guess I need to pay attention there. So
your closet?
I did a little,
nice.
Yeah. After that comment, I was like, whatever. Like, your teenagers calling you out. But yeah. What else did we do yesterday? Chad got back and I wrote down notes so I wouldn't forget.
What'd you get at breakfast?
Oh, I did their first for beverages, I had coffee and I had a pineapple mimosa.
Nice. And
then I did they have like a yogurt parfait thing with granola and fruit and a little drizzled honey.
That sounds
really
good.
Nice. It's good. I guess the only other thing we did that evening, because we also had cleaned the house, I'd cleaned my kitchen. Once I cleaned my kitchen, I'm like, I'm not cooking in here.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I just bought all these groceries. I'm not going to cook a meal after I did all this hard work. So we ordered sushi for dinner and we watched more Percy Jackson.
Nice. Where's sushi from?
Nari on Mildred and 19th.
Cool.
Yeah. It was pretty good. Yeah. Our challenge is it's such a little amount of food for so much money.
Yeah.
And so it's a hard like justified purchase for me.
Totally.
Because I'm like, I love it. It's delicious, but
you got to find a good sushi place with like a good happy hour.
Yeah.
That's what our favorite place is Hapanessa, which is in Bellevue, and they have a great happy hour.
Okay.
Usually it's a pricey place, but their happy hour is like very, very solid.
There's a place down in Lakewood that we've done that has great prices, I think, for most of the time.
Okay.
But it's just so far.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, I think that was the rest of my Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sunday, I did a bike ride with my friend Brandon.
We were on, it was Saturday, not Sunday. But
okay.
We went on Lake Union because we got turned around for going to U Village.
Okay.
And there were so many bikers.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is his route. We might see him. I thought we might see you. Yeah.
I actually almost did Saturday, but yeah.
Okay.
Sunday, so he ended up buying the same bike that I have last year.
Nice.
So this is our very first time riding together.
Oh, cool.
So I got humbled quite a bit. So basically, I've been riding for a while, right? And I he asked me to bring my bike pump so that I could, help him pump his tires because this is his first time riding this year. And so I brought my bike pump, and I was basically like, it doesn't really work unless the tires are already pretty well pumped up.
Okay.
That's what I thought. And I was like, the way that I use it is so typically every 6 months to a year as I'm riding my bike, I get my bike serviced. So I'll take it into a bike shop. I'll get it. It's like $100 and they'll tune everything up and they do a great job.
Yeah.
And then I use my bike pump like every couple times I ride it just to like add a little bit of air in my tires.
Yeah.
And so we're setting up for the bike ride. I'm trying to pump his tires up. I cannot. They were not pumping up. Oh. And so I'm like, sorry, I think the thing's broken. Like it's not working. Shoot. So let's ride the bikes to a bike shop and then they'll help us out. So we end up riding, and his back tire is like super flat, like no air. He's struggling. Finally get to the bike shop, and he asks the guy, and I was telling him like, anytime I go to a bike shop, I'm just like, pretty much just take on the role. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, can you please help me? Right. Like, I don't know anything about bikes. I would love your help. And so I told him to do that. And he asked the guy, he's like, hey, I need to put some air in my tires. And the guy's like, oh yeah, bike pump's over there. And so he just points to like a bike pump in the corner. Okay. And so Brandon goes over there and he like tries to start using it. He can't get that one to work either. Yeah. And we're like, okay, maybe it's us. Maybe it's not maybe the both bike pumps aren't broken. Maybe there's something else going on here. So we keep trying, and then finally call the guy over. We're like, we can't get this to work. Yeah. And in the most condescending way you can possibly imagine, he explains how to do it, which is very simple. You basically, on the tire, there's a little you twist the thing before you do the bike pump. Do you know this?
There's like a little cap on it.
So you take the cap off. And we knew to take the cap off.
Did you remove the cap?
So we take the cap off.
As far as I can get.
And then there's like the pump thing that you stick on the needle or whatever, and then you start pumping it. That's usually what I do. Yeah. What you're supposed to do is before you start pumping, you're supposed to unscrew something on the actual needle part. Okay. And that allows air to get inside. So didn't know that.
But you've been biking for a long time.
Years. And I somehow have never known how to do that. Okay. So I was wondering, I wonder if I was on a slightly low tire for the entire South Portland bike ride. That's possible. So.
And every time you're pumping it, it's not doing anything, it's your 6 month checkup that actually gets it 100%. To where you need to be.
Yeah, exactly. So every 6 months I'm in good shape.
And this gentleman couldn't have just said, oh, it looks like you guys didn't unscrew it here. Just do that.
Exactly. That's all you need to say. I was like, oh, you have to unscrew it. But he this big elongated description that was so, I felt like he was talking to kindergartners and which is a bummer because I'd go back there. Yeah. It was a nice bike shop. But he lost my interest. Yeah. So that was interesting. And then got the bike, got all good to go. Okay. And then went on a 25-mile ride. Nice. We went kind of all around Seattle. So to the waterfronts, all over Fremont, Ballard, everywhere. So we actually crossed the locks. Have you ever been to the locks in Ballard?
I don't know.
That's where boats get from Lake Washington to Lake Union.
Oh, cool.
I think. I could be wrong.
I couldn't tell you otherwise.
It goes, Puget Sound. It goes Puget Sound to Lake Washington, I think. It's basically one body of water to another, but the bodies of water are at totally different heights. Ooh. So the locks exist to basically, you pull your boat in, and then it shuts the gates on both sides, and then it raises the water so that you can then go onto this other body of water. It's very cool. If you're ever in Ballard, it's a very cool thing to do.
I remember liking Ballard. We did a day trip there a long time ago.
Yeah, it's cool. So we basically crossed. That was one way to get over the water. So did that, and then I went home and played some pickleball.
Nice.
Went to the place in Bellevue that I go to. Okay. Played for 2.5 hours.
Wow.
I was not. I mean, you know what? I was actually playing okay, but I for some reason was not winning any games the entire time. Okay. I lost every single game until the very last game, and I was like, I need this game right now. And we won it, and it was a great feeling. But we were ahead 9-0, doing great. Yeah. And then they caught up 9-7, and then we brought it home and took the W. And I was I'm like, that's my last game. I'm done. I need to walk away.
You're like, I'm leaving on a high.
Yeah. And it was a great feeling to win at least one game yesterday. Yeah. And then went home, watched The Last of Us, which we've talked about, and another good episode. And going. It's good. It's great.
Yeah.
We had what do we have for dinner? Wingstop for dinner. Had some boneless wings.
Okay, because now that White Lotus is done,
No more Thai food.
No more Thai food.
Yeah.
So do you have is Wingstop your tradition?
Wingstop or teriyaki, or we've done Pop Murphy's.
Okay.
We'll treat ourselves to something.
Listen,
some sort of takeout
Sunday.
item or delivery item for Sunday nights. Yeah.
Okay, what's Brian doing while you are bike riding, pickleballing? Feels like you're gone the whole day.
What was he doing? He had a suit fitting. He's a groomsman in a wedding coming up.
Okay.
So he had a suit fitting for that.
Yeah.
He got groceries. He was playing video games for a couple hours.
Okay.
He had to work quite a bit this weekend, so he's doing some work calls.
So you guys like talk about it. You're like, he's like, I've got stuff to do, so you go do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We spend a lot of time together.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah. I'm not worried about you two. I promise you that. Just curious. Okay.
That was the weekend.
Well, I had a couple hot takes for you
Please.
this week. One, speaking of condescending people.
Okay. Is it me?
I wanted to bring this up to you here live on air. Back to helping our agent on Friday.
Yeah.
So part of my job here is to help assist when there's issues in a transaction.
Yep.
And so I had to have a phone call with another agent. And one of the first things he liked to bring up was that he's been in this industry for 40 years and that all these women have so much, they run on anxiety and we're all anxious. And
he's saying that about women?
Women, all you women.
Oh my.
How he said it.
Goodness.
Run anxious. I just feel like if you are in this industry for 40 years, maybe that's too long. So,
yeah.
Like you shouldn't be.
Is he the agent or is he the DV
he
on the other side?
He is the agent.
Okay.
He is the listing agent.
Did you tell the DV he said that? I would tattletale.
I did not.
That's a crazy thing to say.
So here's my thing. I'm going to reach out to her when this transaction closes. I don't want to do anything that will jeopardize the transaction.
Rock the boat.
Because it's been very rocky. And our agent and her client have been phenomenal and have been fighting to keep this afloat. But just that condescending, anytime somebody has to say, well, I've been in this industry for blah, blah, time, you lose me.
100%.
I don't care, actually.
Yeah.
You could clearly not long enough because you're not doing your job well. Like it's one of those things. But yeah, he literally said, all of us women run anxious.
Wow.
And yeah, I just was like, so my hot take was 40 years is too long for some people. That was it. I just wanted to vent about him.
That's wild. Sorry that he said that. That's not okay.
Yeah. I did tell him he should probably think about retiring. So
did you
feel like
no way.
I did. Absolutely.
That is awesome.
I went back. There was some times where I had a really long conversation with him on Thursday evening at our event.
Yeah.
I was outside talking to him.
Yeah.
And at one point I had to say, well, that is our job. And he said, don't tell me how to do our job. And I was like, well, is it not? Like it was, I like had to call him out on, he wouldn't talk to his clients about the situation.
Yeah.
And then I threw in some kind jabs as well. I was like, it sounds like your clients have been difficult and I understand that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to consider retiring. And he was like, yeah, well, I used to say I love my job, but now blah. I'm like,
oh my goodness.
So anyways, then okay, my other hot take.
Okay.
I've said this to a couple people now. So, but I'm in a season of parenting where it's almost like raising teenagers is like raising toddlers again.
Oh, interesting.
So when they're little and they're like cranky, often parents will be like, "Oh, I think they're teething." Like it's like like, "Oh, they're teething." Well, Allie has gotten braces top and bottom, and it's created some tense moments.
Is this recent?
This is recent.
She just got them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they space them out like weeks apart. So I'm like, braces is the new teething. I'm like, sorry for my teenager. She's teething, literally. And there's like a whole thing with like just emotions, like they're tantrums, but then they can turn around and they can be like really sweet and kind. And you're just like not sure what to expect at any moment. And I don't, as a parent, I'm like, I'm clueless. I'm not sure what I'm doing. And it just feels like I'm back to toddlers where now they're like just giving you a run for your money. And you're like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to sit back and let things ride and trust the process. But it's been wild.
Yeah.
It's been interesting.
That's rough.
So yeah.
I don't think Isaac would mind me saying this, but he got braces like the same week that he went on Accutane.
Oh,
And you know what Accutane is, right?
It's for
acne.
Yeah.
And it was just so rough. Like his lips were just so chapped, and it was also winter time, and it was just like he had a rough go.
Yeah,
it was like everything all at once.
Yeah. I never had braces, so I apologize to anybody who has, and they're like, no, it's actually so painful because I'm like probably not giving it enough credit, and I'm like, but it's fine.
When she complains, she's like, oh, poor baby.
Cry to your mom about it. Oh wait, yeah, she's been a little. She's a delight.
Yeah.
You know.
She helped you organize your bathroom.
She helped me organize my bathroom, and she loved it. Like that was so she volunteered, she wanted to do that. So there is that. She also like can be so scary. And you know she's taller than me now.
Oh wow.
Like 2 inches taller.
Wow.
Like it's not even remotely like, is she? It's like she is.
Yeah. Is Piper gonna pass you up too?
I don't know. Yesterday, Pipes and I were walking into a store. She's like, am I taller? I'm like, no, you're not. Don't even think about it.
That's funny.
Yeah. Anyways, those are my 2 things.
Okay.
Teenage is the new toddler.
Love it.
40 years in the industry is too long.
40 years. We probably started when he was in the 60s, probably.
He's in his 60s now.
Or 70s. I don't know.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It's just like, shut it down.
Yeah.
Go retire.
100%. Yeah. If you can.
That's not my
If you got that $1 million in your mutual funds.
If you're looking to invest in a Fidelity account, Eric Edwalds.
Shout out Eric Edwalds.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Jamie.
All right. This was fun. 62 in the books.
62.